Nebraska and Minnesota almost set to get underway in another top 25 clash on BTN. Pivotal week here for the entire Big Ten Conference. A lot of great matchups. Saw a match between Maryland and Rutgers last night. Penn State and Michigan on Friday, and then Illinois and Purdue on Saturday. So a tremendous week of volleyball, all right here in the Big Ten Conference on the Big Ten Network. And that continues with Nebraska and Minnesota. The Huskers, so we take a look at the standings in the Big Ten up to this point. Nebraska at 5-3, Minnesota at 3-5. A bit of surprise that the Gophers have struggled, losing 5 of their first 8 Big Ten matches, while Nebraska dropping 3 conference matches very in quick order, splitting the last 3 weekends of Big Ten play, and a tough loss to Illinois last Saturday. But both of these teams may not be playing up to the level of previous seasons, but they're very young. 11 underclassmen on both rosters for the Gophers and the Huskers.
I feel like the Big Ten is really young across the board, and Nebraska and Minnesota are great examples of losing key players from last year's squad. Nebraska with Kelsey Robinson, what a tremendous player. But both teams have had to bounce back and find their team chemistry, really find what's working for them, and I think it reflects in the records.
Take a look at Hugh McCutcheon in his 3rd season for the Golden Gophers. Led Minnesota to the NCAA regional final and regional semifinal in the past 2 years. And of course led USA Women's Volleyball to the #1 overall world ranking and silver medal in London in 2012. John Cook in his 15th season overall. 2-time ABCA National Coach of the Year and 2-time NCAA champion in 2000 and 2006 with the Huskers. Take a look at the starting line. Was brought to you tonight by Tachikara. Rolfson, Ostrander, Haggerty, and Hall have been the middles as of late. Rolfson and Paul Miller, and then Justine Wong-Arantes will be the libero for Nebraska. Then the Golden Gophers bring their lineup that has been mixing and changing, shuffling throughout the past few matches. Dolly Santana, Will Height, the Tap sisters, Adriana Nora, Katie Shaw, and then Daliana Lee's Rosado will be the libero. Moving from the libero spot to an outside spot is Alyssa Gaynor for the Gophers, a freshman who's expected to offer up some points tonight for Minnesota.
Well, she was an awesome outside hitter. She had a standout career in high school and in her club season, so it's no surprise she can get it done. The keys right now for the match, I mean, find the kills. Right now, Minnesota needs to find that offensive rhythm, and they also need to stay in it the whole time. Go the distance.
And Liz, give us some keys for the Huskers.
Well, Nebraska needs to slow down their pin hitters. Minnesota is famous right now for the right side and the left side pins. Dolly Santana is doing a great job on the left side, where Nora is attacking strong on the right.
Take a look at the last meeting between these two teams here in Minneapolis on November 10th of 2013. It was a tight match that went to 5 sets. Actually started off kind of slow, but then was a great one in the end as Nebraska won 15-11 in set number 5. Katie Rolfson had 20 kills in that match. Dolly Santana with 15 kills for Minnesota. As we said, the 3 meetings between these two teams in Minneapolis since Nebraska joined the Big Ten have all gone to 5 sets, and 6 of the last 10 meetings overall in this series have gone to 5 sets as well. Nebraska owns that advantage in the overall series, but Minnesota very tough at home over the past few years.
Difficult to play Minnesota on their home court. It's very loud in here. The band is rocking. The fans are on their feet. They're ready to see some high-quality volleyball from both ends tonight.
Check out our new feature this season, the BTN Net Cam. You can stream our exclusive camera right now on BTN to go and get a unique look at all of the volleyball action. You can watch the feed of the BTN Net Cam, but also watch the feed of the match side by side and see a lot of different angles of this volleyball match. Take a look at our officials for this evening here at the Sports Pavilion as we're set to get underway. Nebraska, 14th ranked team in the nation. Minnesota, number 25. And both teams looking to bounce back after losses in their last match last weekend. Nebraska lost to Illinois on their home floor. And then Minnesota lost 2 in a row to Wisconsin in that new travel partner schedule that we saw last week. Dolly Santana will get things underway for the Golden Gophers. She's 3rd in the Big Ten in service aces. Mary Paul-Miller, the set right away to Ostrander. Second chance for Ostrander, off the hands, and we'll have a whistle on a net violation against the Gophers.
Nice rally to start off on both sides of the net, just keeping the ball in play. You're not going to see a lot of big bangs right off the bat. They're going to find their groove, find some spots on the court where they're going to feel comfortable.
Mary Paul-Miller, the setter for the Huskers, back to serve. Katie Shaw will set to Wilhite. Tip from Ostrander, and it falls.
Nice job by Ostrander, really reaching high. She found that spot right over the block. A lot of times at right side, a defensive player will be too far behind. Shaw's not able to get it with that pancake.
Out of play on the service error. First one of the match to Minnesota. We mentioned both of these teams have been inconsistent up and down throughout the year. And for Nebraska, they've had one great match and then one tough match over the past few weeks, dropping matches in the second match of the week after winning the first match in both of the series they had against Michigan State and Michigan, and then Northwestern and Illinois. Here's Ostrander on the right side off the block and down.
2 kills right off the bat by Alicia, and unfortunately she goes out for Nebraska, and that's what happens with these players that come in just for the front row. They have to try to score all their points while they're big hitters in there.
And John Cook had said that she did not play club volleyball, and Gordon, Nebraska did not have a club she could play for, so she's not quite prepared for back row play. Paul-Miller looking for the quick set to CC Hall. Wilhite into the block, and the block for Hall.
Way to get 4 hands around the tape. Both blockers did such a fantastic job, really timing their dynamic swing to get 4 hands on that ball.
Hall had 8 blocks against Illinois last Saturday. Starting off here with a good block, and then off speed by Minnesota for the point.
Sarah Wilhite, number 8 on Minnesota, does a nice job. She gets really far back on her swing. Big approach. It's really hard to detect what she's going to do if you're back row on defense.
Wilhite, a sophomore out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, 9th in the Big Ten in kills per set. Clipping the net and the ace for the Gophers. Alyssa Gaynor with the service ace.
I love those serves, and you practice that. Every day you go after that tape and you be aggressive, and just once, maybe once or twice, Mike, you get to clip it.
Paul-Miller the set to Amber Rolfson. She sees the block and goes off.
And that was an off play. The set was almost behind her head, and she did a nice job adjusting, reaching high. The block is coming down, so it's a nice, easy kill for the Rolfson.
Amber Rolfson on the right side, Katie Rolfson on the left. One set of 2 sets of twins in this match. The Tapp sisters on the other side of the net for Minnesota.
Makes our job harder, Mike.
That's why they wear numbers, Liz. And the tip there from Katie Rolfson for another point for Nebraska.
We're going to see a lot of hang time right now from the Rolfson twins. Both of them get up there pretty high. And when they are able to attack on that tip play, the blocker is coming down. So it's hard to adjust for the defense.
Katie Shaw, the back set to Hannah Tapp, and Minnesota needs Hannah Tapp to get going.
They do. Offensively, Katie Shaw's got to do a really nice job distributing these balls. What she does here, she comes forward, she delivers the ball behind her head. So she goes against the grain. The block is a little late, created some seam opportunity.
Haggerty with the swing, but it's out of play, and the point to Minnesota. Middle production, so crucial for both of these teams because that's an area where they have not been consistent.
And Mary Paul-Miller is a fantastic setter for Nebraska, but one thing she does need to work on is pumping her middles. And right there, she's going to look for her to go back to Megan Haggerty on a better pass.
Big swing from Rolfson as she tools off the block.
She had lots of time right there. Big swing. Mary Paul-Miller put it up nice and high for her.
Katie and Amber Rolfson, sophomores out of Papillion, Nebraska. Katie Rolfson was a third-team All-American a year ago. But a service error there from Amber Rolfson. 7-6 lead for Nebraska in set one. The Huskers have played a number of close sets over the past few weeks and dropped several of those close sets against Michigan as well as Illinois, and they feel like they need to step up and get those big plays down the stretch of sets. Katie Rolfson looking for the tip, but she didn't get it over.
I think that was a low-tempo ball for her. She likes it with a little kick at the end, so she went for that tip opportunity. Not something that the coach wants to see happen as a pure air at the bottom of the net.
Dalianlis Rosado serving for the Gophers. Another chance there for Katie Rolfson. Dolly Santana, but it's into the net. And the attack error in Minnesota, 49 attack errors last week against Wisconsin. And that's an area where they really need improvement.
Well, she's getting a lot of attempts. Dolly gets the most attempts on this team, I think over 240 right now. So the team really looks for her to put the ball away, and sometimes she's just not going to have it every night.
Santana with a few of those errors, but those 49 attack errors were for the entire Gopher team last week. Ostrander off the block.
Nice attack, very high off the top of those hands. Big swing, she hits a heavy ball right now, and she's able to clip some of those fingertips.
Here's Paige Tapp, sees the hands, but a good coverage in the back row by Katie Rolfson. And Santana sees the open space and the tip over the point.
Wow, she really got up in the air that time. If you notice, she reached as high as she could. That ball is right on the tape. That is a great move by Dolly just to save that ball for her teammates to get that point.
Broken play, and she's still able to get the point for Minnesota. Haggerty, but she's stuffed by Paige Tapp. That was an easy one.
I'm really surprised right now with Nebraska. They're tipping the ball a lot, and I think what's happening is Paul Miller is not pushing it all the way out to the pin. It's falling short.
Paul Miller this time out to Ostrander, but it's out of play. And another error on the Huskers.
Not something you want to see off of the three-point pass. It was a very nice pass that Paul Miller got. Normally, Nebraska is able to execute on that ball.
Minnesota now on top 10-9 in the first set. Shaw serving for the Gophers. Haggerty another chance. This time she gets the kill.
She does. It was a nice high reach. She was able to put the ball in front of her so she can see the defense. If you're going for the ball and it's behind your head, Mike, it's really hard to see the defense. What you're doing is focusing and looking at the ceiling instead of in front of you.
Paige Tapp with another chance, and she finds a space in the back row.
Great first ball side out opportunity for Minnesota. They got a three-point, or more like a two-point pass, and the setter was able to deliver the ball all the way to the pin. Both teams right now are using the right side.
Paul Miller goes for it herself on two, and a diving save by Santana. Big swing out of the back row, but a great up for Minnesota, and Wilhite cross court.
We're starting to see the tempo pick up a little bit more. Right from this swing, from the get-go, Wilhite gets back there. She's got a sharp cross court.
Dolly Santana with a great up for the Gophers. Cecilia Hall, the attack there. Minnesota with another, and it's a 6-1 run by the Gophers. They're up 13-10 in set one on Nebraska. The Gophers with the lead at home. 13-10 lead for Minnesota in set one. Nebraska, 5 attack errors, 2 service errors thus far. That's given up a lot of points to Minnesota. Shaw back set to Nora. Longarantis able to keep it in play. Second chance for Nora. This time she terminates. Take a look at our question of the night on Twitter, twitter.com/BTN Volleyball. Who is the best blocking team in the Big Ten Conference? Minnesota ranks #1 in terms of stats and blocks per set. Nebraska #2, but give us your opinion. #B1G Volleyball.
Hall did a nice job of getting up on that 31 ball. That's a set away from the setter. Really gave her a nice kick at the end so she can take advantage of her long reach.
There's Nora. Paul Miller, the long run of the bump set. Ostrander, another chance. But they're going to say it's out of play. The Huskers wanted a touch, but they don't get the call.
A lot of out-of-system balls right now. You see the setters running all over the court. They're digging, which is great, but what's happening is that they're digging so far off the net, the ball's just going to the pins.
Another out-of-system play. The bump set all the way over, and it's another attack error, the 7th of set #1. We're barely halfway through it.
Yes, this is not how Nebraska wanted to start. I think what's happening is that the sets are dying inside, but Nebraska's not going after their block, probably because they are one of the better blocking teams in the Big Ten.
Middle set to CC Hall, and she goes off the block. No fear for Hall.
And that's what you have to do. Sometimes I think hitters are trained to go around the block so often, Mike, that they're not attacking hard and going after them.
Annika Albrecht into serve for the Huskers. She goes after Dolly Santana. Minnesota goes middle. Wilhite with the big swing. Shaw sets again to Hannah Tapp. Albrecht the up. Good rally going here between these two teams. Wilhite looking to end it, and she does.
Boy, she's got some tricks in her toolbox. We saw some nice digging opportunities by Nebraska, but in the end, Wilhite pulls this one out, not only with some great swings, but she finds a way to score right there.
Third kill of the first set for Sarah Wilhite. Huskers looking again to set Hall. Now they set Katie Rolfson. Dolly Santana into a double block. Roll shot over and down the point to Minnesota.
Boy, that was all Dolly Santana. Not only did she cover a great ball, but she got up fast, converted, she executed. She did everything she needed to do as an outside hitter. Great job by #1 on Minnesota.
18-12 lead for the Gophers in set 1. A lot of talent as well, and they're starting to hit their potential here in their sophomore season.
They are. All 4 of them are doing a great job for both programs. It is highly unusual for 2 top 25 teams to have twins on both sides of the net. Lots of fun, I'm sure, for their parents and for their fans out there. But it could get pretty difficult, I think, with team chemistry at different times, and twins have that special, those special powers within each other. So a lot of fun, I'm sure, at practice.
Liz, I don't think they have a mental connection to help them out, but certainly they know each other well and what they want to do on the floor. Katie Rolfson. It'll be a free ball for the Huskers. Sliding in was Annika Albrecht. The one-handed up by Wilhite. And the roll shot, another one for Dolly Santana.
Very smart play by Dolly. She can see the defense. What sets her apart from other outside hitters, she does a great job approaching the ball and seeing the whole court in front of her. She knew that spot was open and she took it.
Paul Miller, the quick set to Hall, and another for CC Hall. That is the kind of production that Nebraska wants from the middle. We'll take a look at our Twitter question tonight. Again, who is the best blocking team in the Big Ten Conference? And a few of your answers, potentially these two, Nebraska or Minnesota, as they both rank 1 and 2 in this match. So far this Big Ten season, Minnesota #1, Nebraska #2, but there's a stuff for the Huskers.
Well, they got their act together on that one. They were able to read Shaw going all the way out to the pin, had plenty of time to set up on Santana.
Not a great first contact. It results in the overpass kill for Katie Rolfson.
Well, what set that up was a great serve by Justine on the back line. She does such a nice job delivering the ball from the service line.
19-15 lead for Minnesota, but Nebraska is surging here, trying to come back. Wilhite the tip, and no one home for the Huskers.
It almost seemed like a design play coming right out of the timeout, Mike, where they saw that that was going to be way open with Paul Miller all the way back, not able to deliver the ball.
Wilhite will head back to serve. Into the net, though, on a service error, and a relatively clean first set for Minnesota. That's an error they'd like to have back.
Serving is so crucial at this level. It's crucial at every level. Even the middle school kids in practice every day, that's all they work on. You notice all these jump floats. A lot of teams are switching from maybe their topspin serves to the jump floats because they find it just as effective, maybe saving their legs a little bit because they're only jumping at a low level opposed to a very high level when they topspin.
And that has been an example here in Minneapolis as Dolly Santana has used the jump float instead of the jump topspin this season, trying to save her legs a bit. But back-to-back service error, it's 21-16. Alian leaves Rosado with the one-handed dig. Albrecht out of the back row, and they're going to call the touch off the Gopher block, point to Nebraska.
They like when Albrecht is back there. Not only can she pass, but she was an outside hitter coming into this program, so she puts up a big swing. They like to use her for a back row attack.
Tap, but a great up by Amber Rolfson, and then she'll take a swing. Rosado with the save. And the block for the Huskers.
Well, this all started for Nebraska on that dig by Amber Rolfson. She really got down, wrists on the ground, then she was able to put the ball in a nice spot for Rosado, but ultimately Haggerty got the job done.
Yep, a lot of off speed tonight from Minnesota. Ostrander, though, with the attack error.
And they're not going to stop the off-speed shots, Mike, only because it's working for them. They're going to keep going to it until Nebraska stops it.
8 errors now. Nebraska, 3 of them from Alicia Ostrander. Haggerty looks to go cross court, touches nothing, and it's another attack error.
She's trying to find those high hands. A little out of control as a slide hitter. You want to make sure that the ball's in front of you all the way out to the pin. If it's even a foot off the net, you still want to swing hard, and I think that's what she was doing. She was trying to find those high hands.
It's now 12 points that Nebraska has given away here in the first set when you combine service errors and attack errors. Paul Miller looking to go over on 2. Kira Larson into the match for the Huskers. And a point to Nebraska as they're down by 4.
I think that was a kill by the libero, Justine. She was able to set that ball over the net, found a spot on the court, and I think that's one of her beach moves. She plays on the sand team for Nebraska, and she grew up playing on the beach, so I think that's a signature move for Justine.
Ostrander off the bump set. Shaw to Nora. Etheridge dives, and That's going to be in another back row kill for a defensive specialist.
A bump kill. That's what it is. Boy, you don't see those too often at this level, but you just got to dig. Your goal is to keep the ball off the floor. And anytime you do that and it creates a kill, great point for Nebraska. They'll take it.
First kill of the season for Alexa Etheridge, but it is set point for Minnesota after the kill from Dolly Santana. Santana will head back to serve. 26 aces on the season. There is the jump float, but it's long.
Unfortunate for Minnesota, and this is something that they're working on as a team, trying to finish sets, try to close it out, and you need to do that from the serving line.
Something that both of these coaches said coming into this match. That's absolutely vital. Nora off the block. Minnesota takes set one, 25-21 from number 14, Nebraska. The Gophers on top at home in the Sports Pavilion with a 1-0 lead. Dolly Santana finishes with 4 kills. Will Height with 4 as well. And the Gophers are up 1-0. Iowa at Wisconsin. The Badgers with a 7-4 lead in set one. That one is just underway. Wisconsin swept Minnesota last week in 2 consecutive matches, one here in Minneapolis and on Sunday, and another great matchup that you can see as well on BTN Plus.
Got some great volleyball going on tonight, especially right here in the Sports Pavilion.
See the numbers from set one. Both teams not hitting for high numbers, but the attack errors for Nebraska, 9 attack errors to go along with the service errors, and they gave away a lot of points in the first set. And a big swing from Amber Rolfson, but again, she doesn't touch anything, so another attack error.
And I think the setting is a little off. I hate to say it as a former setter, but right now it just doesn't seem like they're connecting. They're making a lot of errors right now, and they're trying to do something with the ball that's a little uncharacteristic.
Paul Miller with the set. Long way to Amber Rolfson. Here's a bump set from Rosado to Will Height down the line. And the point for the Gophers.
That was a perfect example of an off play where Rosado had to come in, pass the ball up super high for Will Height. She did a great job of keeping the ball in front of her, saw the whole line to make that shot.
Paul Miller to Hall. That's going to be a credit to save to Amber Rolfson's face off the block. Ostrander. Wongarantis will set to Amber Rolfson. Another swing on the left side for Amber Rolfson. Finally, she terminates.
That's what Nebraska can do. Justine Wongarantis, she does a great job of putting her hands out in front, but ultimately, she was able to get the job done, not only with the dig, but Mary Paul Miller got it out there in time.
Now it's Katie Rolfson back on the left. Big swing, but a huge stuff for Amber Rolfson and the Huskers.
The game of volleyball has its ebbs and flows, and what you're seeing right now with Nebraska is they've got a little bit of rhythm going, and they want to keep it back here at the serving line.
4 blocks now for the Huskers in the match to just 1 for Minnesota. Paige Tapp converts in the middle.
Paige Tapp is a perfect player to set in the middle. She's hit middle before, outside and right side. So right off the first ball side out opportunity, one blocker up, she's able to hit any corner.
Will out of the back row, Albrecht. That goes off the shoulder of Dolly Santana. The point to Nebraska. Take a look at the comments on Twitter about this match. And again, use the hashtag B1G Volleyball to comment about this match between the Gophers and the Huskers. Bump set and the swing for Rolfson. And a tap gets down to the floor. Free ball chance now for the Huskers. Tooling the block, Amber Rolfson.
Well, the ball got to the pin that time, and it creates a huge window for your hitters. If the ball falls short, you don't have a lot of opportunity, but if it's all the way out to the pin, you can do line, cross-court, seam, and that time she tooled the block.
Middle to Hannah tap, and the middle working well for the Gophers in this match.
The middle works well for any program out there. You have to set the middles. In order to achieve success, any kind of success on all levels, you got to get your middles involved. You have to pay attention to them.
Hannah and Paige Tapp both have 2 kills in this match so far. Katie Rolfson off the block.
Nice and high set. And Katie Rolfson is that go-to girl for Nebraska. She gets a lot of attempts. She's got a high kill percentage on Nebraska, and that's exactly what she can do. As long as that ball's nice and high, she can tool the block.
And a tap with another big swing and a hammer.
Ooh, that was a hammer. I could hear it. Great connection there. Super high reach. The ball was in her sweet spot. She was able to put that ball down fast and with authority.
3 kills on 5 attacks for Hannah Tapp. It's a great sign after she had just 3 kills in 2 matches last week. Great up from Sarah Wilhite. Santana the off speed. Good coverage by Amber Rolfson. And into the net on the air by Wilhite out of the back row.
I really thought she was going to put that ball away after that great dig right there. She had the opportunity. Shaw delivers a good set to Dolly. But right here, this is where you see she kind of was tentative. And you need to go for it. You have to be aggressive in that situation.
Santana goes for it this time across court.
I love what she can do. She keeps the ball in the air, Mike. She's got so much hang time that the ball drops. It lands almost flat in front of her. She's not reaching that high. And she can really move around the block. It's really a special hit.
McCutcheon has said that Dolly Santana has had to take on so much more for this Gopher team. Taking a lot more swings, and she takes another down the line, off the touch.
And that is a flat ball going all the way out there. Very hard to defend. The blocker has to do a really good job of sealing the line on that one.
See the record, Minnesota 10-1 when winning the first set this season. Ostrander, but the block. Paige Tapp and Katie Shaw.
I don't think Nebraska's used to having Ostrander being blocked, so not a lot of people were down, ready to cover that ball. If you notice, Rolfson kind of kicked it. I think you, as a hitter and a backup defensive player, you've got to expect your hitter to get blocked, so you're ready to cover.
Paige Tapp flips the net, and it's down.
Good job for Paige. She's coming in. She's making some noise out there, but getting some big-time kills at the perfect time.
Paige and Hannah Tapp, they have the Gophers up in the second set. John Cook is mic'd up for us tonight.
This is part of communication. We got to talk. We're in down ball or we're blocking. Okay? We get paid to block. Get up there and block. Let us play.
Nebraska head coach not happy with how his team played in set number 1. Trying to adjust here in the second set. Megan Haggerty. Paul Miller, second chance to Haggerty. And it will go off the touch, so out of the timeout, the point to Nebraska.
Haggerty's doing a great job. She's trying to find those hands out there. She's sliding underneath the ball, so she's got every opportunity to swing hard and just get those high hands.
Etheridge on the service error. And it's another service error for Nebraska.
I'm sure very frustrating for Nebraska. She comes in, and that's basically her job. She gets back there, makes things happen for her team, and they want her to stay on that serving line to create some points.
Paul Miller to Hall, tools off the block.
Nice first ball side out opportunity. Again, Justine with a three-point pass. Paul Miller, easy ball. Great tool.
Cecilia Hall, 4 kills on 8 attacks, hitting .375 so far in this match. And it's what Minnesota cannot allow Nebraska to do, is have middle production, but an ace for the Huskers from Paul Miller.
Paul Miller has racked up a bunch of aces for her team, and normally that's what setters do. If you look across the Big Ten, Mike, setters will not only get it done with the assists, but they're back there on the serving line. Oops, I spoke too soon. I always do that.
I believe you're thinking of Micah Hancock of Penn State, Lauren Carlini of Wisconsin. She's been great, really improved her serve from her freshman year to her sophomore season, but the setters are typically good from the service line, but Dolly Santana also fantastic. Ostrander, though, with the first ball side out.
Off the head of Paige Tapp, and that's how high she can jump. Unbelievable. And you're taught to block with your hands. A lot of times, beginner blockers will go up there. If they can get that high, they've got to make sure their hands are in front and over the net.
Here's Katie Rolfson. Rosado is there in the back row. Roll shot from Nora. They're going to have a whistle that goes against the Huskers.
We talk about blocking a lot, and what happens on Nebraska right then is that they've got some hang time from Nora, so you're hanging up there in the air. What you need to do is press your hands over the net, get your body away from the net. A lot of blockers will put their body too close to the net, and that's why you see those calls happen.
And the shake in serve receive, an ace to the Gophers.
Well, she took that ball out to her right side, and you need to kind of take the charge with that. Let that ball come down to the middle of your body, move your feet.
Paul Miller again to the middle of the Hall, but the stuff block for Hannah Tapp.
Well, they read that well, and good job by Minnesota. A tough blocking team. They were able to get that job done, really trapped the hitter there.
Hannah Tapp, 3rd in the Big Ten in blocks per set. Paige Tapp, her sister, 2nd in the conference in that category. Out of play, but they're going to call a touch, as the attack air is not going to be the case for Katie Rolfson, as she got a touch call. Take a look at the Tapp sisters, 2nd and 3rd. Paige Tapp and Hannah Tapp up there in the rankings, and 90 total blocks for Paige Tapp, 85 for Hannah Tapp. But Hugh McCutcheon says he still sees a lot of the blocks that they missed, that they could still get a few more stuffs out there, because just the number of blocks you get does not tell the whole story about how good a blocking team you are. Wilhite tooling off the block. And the Gophers with another. It's a 15-11 lead.
And that's one of the stories right there. You're not able to track all the tool opportunities you get. And as a blocker, you don't want to be tooled. That is definitely an error on your part. So you want to clean that up. You want to make sure your hips, your hands are facing towards the inside of the court, not the outside.
Alyssa Gaynor on the service line. Big swing from Katie Rolfson, and she puts it away. Take a look at our Twitter question of the night. Who is the best blocking team in the Big Ten? Hashtag B1G Volleyball. Respond at twitter.com. Illini with their big front that they have with Liz McMahon, Jocelyn Burks up there, Anna Dorn, Katie Static. Hannah Tapp continues to excel.
Wow, that ball was right on the net, and as Nebraska's defense, you do not want to see that ball coming at you. That is going straight down.
Wilhite on the service line for the Gophers. There's Megan Haggerty. Block is there for Minnesota. Another stuff for the Gophers. Shaw and Hannah Tapp.
Great block, but too tight for her. If you notice, she's really close to the net. Maybe a little too much broad jumping on her part. And an inside set.
The tip, the off speed, and it will fall for Katie Ralston.
If you notice, Dolly did a great job as an off blocker, really coming in, flying in from left front to cover that tip. These outside hitters are so fast that they're able to get to that ball. Unfortunately for Minnesota, Katie Shaw touched it first.
Tip from Hannah Tapp, there's no one there.
Well, Nebraska likes to funnel the ball to Justine back there as a great libero. She's on the line ready for the attack. Oftentimes you don't see her up playing the tip.
18-13 lead for Minnesota in the second set. They're trying to go up 2-0 on Nebraska. Hockey is back this Friday when the top-ranked Gophers take on Bemidji State. BTN Hockey, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, returns Friday at 9 Eastern on BTN and BTN to go. Great weekend of athletics here in Minneapolis. Gophers will be playing Iowa this weekend, and then hockey returning as well. 18-13 lead for Minnesota in the second set. Time now for our State Farm State of Success. We'll take a look at the success of these two programs. Nebraska and Minnesota. So much success over the years. Trips to the NCAA tournament, finishes in the top 3 of the Big Ten Conference. Minnesota has finished in the 3rd or higher in 13 of the past 15 years, while Nebraska has appeared in all 471 ABCA weekly polls. The Huskers, only in their 4th year in the Big Ten Conference, they're going to be up there and have a number like Minnesota by the time it's all said and done.
And basically the conversation comes down to who wants to win the Big Ten. And definitely Nebraska has such a history of winning the Big 12 conference. When they came in the Big Ten, they were able to win it. And I know that's part of their conversation day in and day out. Lots of tradition there, lots of history with that program. Many, many All-Americans. The list goes on.
It's a great sign for Minnesota tonight. The play of Hannah Tapp and Paige Tapp. 5 kills for Hannah Tapp, 3 for Paige Tapp. But Hugh McCutcheon had said early in the season, Hannah Tapp was a little bit inconsistent because she was getting used to a new setter and new 2 setters, as Katie Shaw and Erica Hanley were splitting time early in the year compared to Alexandra Palmer years ago for the Gophers. So Tapp really finding her rhythm now. Another kill out of a timeout for Megan Haggerty.
Just establishing the middle off the bat, you have to. And I think, unfortunately for Nebraska, they like to set their pins a little bit too much. They need to keep going after the middles. Try to create something.
3 kills now for Haggerty, but also 3 errors to go along with those 3 points. Paige Tapp off the hands. It goes into the antenna. And another for the Tapp sisters.
That's a gutsy play right there. She's on the move. She's running, going off of 1 foot. You see 4 hands in front of you. Sometimes you just got to go for it, and it worked out in her favor.
Gophers playing at a level that we have not seen maybe since the Big Ten opener against Ohio State, where they won in 5 sets. A stuff. Paige Tapp and Adriana Nora.
Way to get 4 hands. Good timing, both of them. All 4 hands over the net, pressing an inside set. So very nice job by Minnesota covering the ball.
Roll shot for Dolly Santana, and the Gophers are 4 points from taking a 2-0 lead.
Defensively, Nebraska is really struggling. I think they're trying to decide if they're pulling back, maybe playing some kind of perimeter or rotational defense on certain pins. I think I'd like to see them adjust a little bit better on these shots.
Here's Cecilia Hall. Minnesota looking for another block, but it's a joust at the net. Santana again off speed. Good coverage from Ostrander. Dalian-Lee's Rosado keeps it off the floor. Shaw It's Nora, and she goes off the tape and out of play.
She's trying to find those hands. If you notice, she dropped her elbow and really trying to find the blocker's hands to push into the court and then out. Tough move if those blockers' hands aren't up there to get.
Tough serve from the Huskers. And the roll shot over for Nora.
I don't even think she jumped on that one. She stayed on the ground, just lifted her hands up. Oh, I see a shot, I'm gonna go for it.
Kelsey Fiend checks in as the Huskers making a change. We've seen this in the past when Nebraska has struggled. They've made significant changes in their lineup. Big swing from Amber Rolfson.
She can get it done on either pin, and she's a right side hitter. That was rotation 1, where the setter's coming out of right back. So your opposite is on the left side of the court, and it's such a bonus for a team if they have a right side attacker who can hit the left side pin.
How to play the service there. Another for Nebraska. That's number 6.
Hannah checks back in. Paige back to serve.
Paige tap at the service line. Amber Rolfson almost a block, but Wong-Arantes with the up. Nora sees the hands and tools the block. It's set point for Minnesota.
Great job by Nora. What she does fantastic at is a right side attacker. She comes in with her feet, but her arm is outside her body line, so very difficult to read as a blocker.
Paul Miller with the bump set. Nora sends over a free ball. Santana comes in to set. Nora, the roll shot across her body, and the Gophers take a 2-0 lead on Nebraska. Minnesota hits over 400 in the second set, and they own a 2-0 lead. Set 1 went to Minnesota 25-21. The second set 25-16, and we head to the intermission with Minnesota on top of number 14, Nebraska.
A lot of nights of the week. It's great for all those young players out there. This is how you learn. You watch and you get better.
And a way to get better is taking a look at our BTN net cam, especially for the blocking. As you see the hands come over the net, you see where they're located. You can see that exclusively on the BTN net cam, available on BTN To Go, where you can get a unique look at all the volleyball action.
Right now, you can just see their base positions, Mike. Minnesota really pointing out who their hitters are, really focused, very disciplined.
Set 3 underway, but a service error. We will see which Nebraska team comes out of the locker room after dropping those first 2 sets. They hit just 153 to 14 attack errors, and looking for consistency is John Cook and his staff. Nebraska needs to pick it up here in the 3rd set. Tough serve from Paul Miller. Shaw saves it. Amber Rolfson, but the block for the Gophers.
Well, that was a great example of Minnesota bettering the ball. Dolly Santana didn't give a perfect pass. It was more like a 1-point pass where Shaw had to make the ball better, and they got the point.
Good up in the back row there by Paige Tapp. Paul Miller, the back set, Ostrander back in. Nora, the diving get. The tip from Amber Rolfson. Shaw keeps it off the floor. Wilhite down the line, wins the rally.
And that really took place because this fabulous dig by Nora coming all the way from the right side of the court to get that ball up. And look at her, she had to go ahead and block. And Wilhite finished the play down the line. Great defense by Minnesota.
But another service error there from Paige Tapp.
They're trying to serve zone 2 right now, zone 3, which is in the middle of the court, really short, to do something that takes Cecilia Hall out of the offense.
Wilhite with time. There's going to be a whistle, I believe, that goes against Nebraska for being in the net. And that'll be another point for the Gophers.
Nebraska's giving Minnesota a line shot on that. Paul Miller's supposed to scoop back and dig the ball. But what happened is Hall, again, her body came into the net instead of her hands in front.
Freshman Alyssa Gaynor back serving. Adjustment from Amber Rolfson on the right side. It'll be a net violation against Minnesota. Twitter question of the night: who is the best blocking team in the Big Ten? Right now, Minnesota is leading this blocking battle 6-4, though that doesn't tell the whole story just in those blocking stats. But your answers that you can see: is it Nebraska? Is it Minnesota? Maybe another team in the Big Ten Conference? Use that hashtag B1G Volleyball. Shaw with the set to Hannah Tap. Both taps are feeling it.
They are. First ball side out opportunity. Good job by Shaw. Side setting that ball. As you side set, you can really see your line shot coming, the attacker coming around you. Nice seam. Put the ball away.
We're seeing tonight why Hannah Tap was selected as a preseason All-Big Ten pick. Dalianlis Rosado, great diving save. Albrecht out of the back row, and it's down.
Albrecht is going to do that a few times in the night. I think she missed a couple opportunities in the last couple sets, but she's back there for that purpose, not only to serve receive, but to get a back row attack.
But out of play, right back on the service there from Amber Rolfson. 5-4 lead for the Gophers in the third set, and Rosado will serve. It's going to go off the touch, so another point for Nebraska on a touch call. Katie Rolfson with her 8th kill of the match.
Well, they're going to go after Shaw right there. She's one of the smaller blockers from Minnesota. She still gets up pretty high, and she was able to clip the top of her fingers.
Gaynor with a good pass, sets up Santana.
And that is a low ball to the pin. She just keeps the ball in front of her. She's able to see the block and go after it. She is good at going after the hitters or the blockers' hands. She is not afraid.
8 kills for Santana, hitting .286, throwing 6 digs as well. Another service there from Katie Shaw.
They're trying to serve short, and unfortunately it's going in the bottom of the net. It's probably the worst error that you want to see as a coach or a fan. A lot of times the fans get frustrated with those serving errors.
Liz, we talked about how these are 2 of the youngest teams in the Big Ten Conference. Those kind of service errors, you expect that from young teams?
Well, I always say you want to miss wide, but they are trying to serve short, so that does happen.
Paul Miller goes for her own attack, almost had the kill. Good opportunity here for the Huskers. Hall catches the back line. There's going to be a whistle beforehand, though, and either way, it's the point to Nebraska.
Lots of broad jumping going on at the net on both sides. On the attackers are really pushing off one foot and going towards the net, and the block, for some reason, is being very impatient, not as disciplined, so their body's leading instead of their hands. A lot of serving errors tonight on both ends. This is a great gym to play in for serving too. It's very high ceilings, so you get some float opportunities. So oftentimes you see the serve missing wide than you do short.
Ostrander, the big swing. Great dig there from Rosado. Wilhite, the finish. Great balance from Minnesota in this match. 5 different players with at least 4 kills.
Well, it was set up by Rosado's dig. She really gets low, great platform. She played on the Puerto Rican, I think, youth national team, so she knows how to dig. She's been doing it for a long time, and she set up that ball so Wilhite can find the kill.
Tied up at 8, and you mentioned Dalianlis Rosado out of Puerto Rico, so is Dolly Santana, two players that knew each other from playing with the junior national team and have said that it's nice to have each other here in Minneapolis because they don't have their family around, but at least they get to share experiences with a friend they knew from home.
I can't even imagine. They've gone so far away from home. At least they have each other. We talked about the sister connection. Haggerty's sister is on the team. There's two sisters from Illinois, from the western suburbs. They both play for Sports Performance, so it is nice to have a connection when you're so far from home.
Tough serve from Paige Tapp, but Huskers able to keep it alive. Nora, another swing, almost a block. Santana, give her the credit, though the kill goes to Hannah Tapp. No, they're going to whistle it against the Gophers.
Well, the Nebraska wants that call. They're saying that Tapp reached over. If you can watch it, she didn't let the ball cross even the plane of the net. She went after it on Nebraska's side.
Well, initially they whistled that and said it would be Nebraska's point, like you said, Liz. However, they changed their mind, and the point to Minnesota.
Either way, it's an aggressive move. You have to be that way as a middle blocker. You have to be physical up there and go after all those balls.
Huskers out of system, and then it's a mistake by Amber Ralston. John Cook came into this match talking about his Nebraska team having a short memory, win or lose, and that includes losing sets. And so far, Nebraska dropping those first two. They're down here in the third. Just to see top quality volleyball between these two powerhouse programs in the Big Ten Conference. Minnesota playing at such a high level, the best performance for them since the Big Ten opener against Ohio State. They are trying to win this match in straight sets, but Nebraska, a lot left to be done in this match. Amber Ralston out of the middle, but it's out of play. Another attack error.
Good swing by Amber, just misses the court. And I know it's very frustrating for her right now. She's such a strong attacker. With one opportunity, one blocker up there, you really have to find those edges.
Kelsey Fiend back in for the Huskers. See the hitting percentage, 337 for Minnesota, 162 for Nebraska. Paul Miller, the set to Fiend, and off the bench, she connects.
Nice job, and again, she went for that deep shot, left back, around the perimeter. Minnesota's defense really snuck into the court because they saw a seam. And what happens on your defense, you move in because you see the arm, the hitter's arm. So that's why it's really important as a hitter to hit still high and deep along the edges.
Not a good first contact for Minnesota. There's Katie Rolfson down the line.
Big high attack by Katie. I'd like to see her fire up after those last couple of plays, and maybe this will help spark a little energy for Nebraska.
Huskers are looking for better energy, a little bit better vibe out there on the floor. As Katie Rolfson was again looking for a touch, but another attack error. 13-10 lead as Gaynor is back in to serve. Gaynor, the libero for the Gophers over the past few weeks, but Minnesota felt like they needed a little bit more on the attack, so they moved Gaynor out of that position in the back row. Set to Hall in the middle, and she finishes.
Well, that ball was kind of flying out of bounds. Defensively from Minnesota, I think their feet were still moving, so they went for it. But all the same, Nebraska needs to keep finding those kill opportunities right now. They have a lot of errors in the stat category.
Bright spot for Nebraska. Cecilia Hall, 7 kills, hitting .333 in this match. Wilhite, the big swing. Great dig by Wong Arantes. Shaw, back set to Hannah Tapp, and it goes off Rolfson and into the antenna. Point to Minnesota.
Nice digging on both sides of the net. Good swing there by Wilhite, but Wong, she did a good job getting it up. And one-on-one opportunity, finding the hands. Nice tool.
Paul Miller, the back set to Amber Rolfson. That one is out, and another attack here, now up to 19 in the match.
She's really trying to hit around her blockers instead of going after them. And when you have one opportunity to get it done up there against one blocker, you need to move your body around, find your arm swing, maybe go cross body, something different.
Huskers go back to Amber Rolfson. And she gets the block off the attempt by Dolly Santana.
Hands in front. She looks very comfortable up there on the block, but unfortunately with her swinging, she's really struggling.
4 blocks for Amber Rolfson, but she has 5 kills and 6 errors. She's hitting a negative number in this match. Shaw sets Wilhite. Annika Albrecht catches the line.
Way to fire up back there. Big approach. You want to start a back row attack pretty deep so you can really broad jump into it, but nice dig. And Paul Miller makes the hitter move in front, and that's what you want to do. You want to transition your weight, everything going in front of you, put the power in front.
But a service there. Not what Nebraska wanted to see. Sydney Townsend with the service error, and just as Nebraska was back within 2, up to a 3-point margin, and a substitution for the Huskers as Amber Rolfson checks back in for Townsend.
They're going to use her to pass right now, and maybe she can get it done in the back row.
Gophers go after Amber Rolfson in serve receive. Santana with the swing, the block for Megan Haggerty.
Inside set, and she really tried to take that cross court, but Haggerty does such a nice job of sealing that cross court and pushing forehands over. So good job by Haggerty getting it done. Now they need to pick it up here. Nebraska needs to keep her back here on the serving line and create some points.
Not a good first contact by Minnesota. Paul Miller the set, and off of the block, Kelsey Feen the kill.
And that's the kind of set that she needs. High and off the net. She's got a big body up there, nice and long, very high reach. So you need to give a little kick at the end so she can get a full swing.
4-1 run for the Huskers here in the 3rd. Coming up next, it's the season premiere of The Journey Big Ten Football 2014. On the show, the Journey team goes behind the scenes with Nebraska running back Amir Abdullah and his family. The youngest of 9 children, Abdullah chose to return to Lincoln for his senior year and continue the family tradition of earning a college degree. Plus, we'll show highlights from Michigan State, Indiana, and Nebraska Northwestern. That's all next on The Journey Big Ten Football 2014. Nebraska down here in the match. It's a 2-0 lead for Minnesota, 16-15 lead in the 3rd set. But you see some of the comparisons here from last year to this season. This is still a very young team for Nebraska, and when you had Kelsey Robinson, the Big Ten Player of the Year last year, those numbers were a bit higher, and you can see where they ranked in the Big Ten Conference versus this season.
Well, I think the leadership of Kelsey Robinson really carried Nebraska a long way, but also she was one of those hitters that could bang the ball out of system, in system. She made things happen for that team, and what's happening now for Nebraska, the Rolfson twins, they struggle out of system a little bit. They need that ball in that sweet spot for them to find the kills, and that will come with time. Coach
Cook mic'd up for us tonight. Let's hear what he has to say.
You cannot give up points like that on the road, you guys. You can't do it. This is the Big Ten. Not high school volleyball, it's Big Ten. You've got to make them pay, earn it. Here we go.
Tough words from John Cook for his team. Have to make them earn it out there, can't give up those points. And right now, Nebraska is down by 1, but trying to force a 4th set. Dolly Santana, the tip. Pancake from Amber Rolfson, great play. And it results in the point.
That's what he's talking about. You have to put the effort in, and then it starts with that pancake keeping the ball up and delivering a ball, but full swing right here. Nice two-step approach to get the kill, and this is the momentum that they need.
5-1 run for Nebraska. It was a 15-11 lead for Minnesota. And it was tied. Now it's a 17-16 lead for the Gophers.
Great slide approach, swing opportunity on that right back perimeter. Again, Nebraska's defense not really set, not as disciplined as I think Coach Cook would like.
Paul Miller, Kelsey Feen, and a diving play by Katie Shaw. Great effort there. Feen again down the line, and Feen has provided a spark.
She sure has, and she's swinging line, but she's also finding seam opportunities. Shaw played really high up defensively on this ball, if you notice, and went sailing over her head. So she's seeing the court, and she's making it happen right now for Nebraska. She's getting some points.
Nora with the swing in the middle. Good one-handed up by Amber Rolfson. Another chance for Nora, but a huge block for the Huskers.
That ball died inside, and that's exactly what Nebraska can do so well. They are second in the Big Ten in blocking just for that reason alone. They know how to set up a good block. They're disciplined and get their hands over.
Santana, whistle on a net violation against Minnesota, and it's a 19-17 lead for Nebraska.
Well, Shaw really tried to stay out of the net. Almost a perfect pass. You have to keep jumping really high as a setter. Almost turn your shoulders so your hands reach above the net so you stay out of the net.
Paige Tapp with a huge kill for the Gophers.
Nice first ball side out by Minnesota there. Keeping the ball alive by Paige Tapp in the seam. She's really come alive, especially in these last couple of weeks. 6
kills for Paige Tapp. Tapp played a little bit on the right, but an ace for Minnesota. Another pivotal play. Dolly Santana on the jump float. Feen, a big swing off the block and down.
Keep feeding her the ball. Nebraska's hope is that she stays up there for a long time so they can find her.
Mary Paul Miller on the service line, 20-19 lead. She goes for the short serve. Wilhite. Paul Miller gets to that ball. Bump set from Wong-Arantes. Feen. Another big swing from Wilhite, blocked there for the Huskers. Gophers go back to Wilhite. Wong-Arantes with the up. Free ball chance for Minnesota. Can they end the long rally and tie it back up? It's a tip from Nora. Feen tools the block.
Great rally on both sides of the net, but Feen ultimately finds it for Nebraska. But Wong-Arantes does a good job of keeping the ball alive, but she's finding that tool opportunity, and she's swinging clean the rest of the night, but great tool. Good job by Nebraska.
Getting the sense that the Huskers are finding their stride here at the end of the third set. Tip by Paige Tapp. Feen again, Kelsey Feen. What a lift.
Wow. Nice job. And she's just swinging away, and she's very fearless up there, just keeping the ball in front of her and getting the job done.
Feen, a huge lift off the bench for Nebraska, and they have the 3-point lead in the third set. Feen, a junior out of Bakersfield, California, and Take a photo of your favorite Big Ten women's sports team and use the hashtag WSRPicks, and you have a chance to get your picture chosen in the next edition of the Pick Your Pick segment of the Women's Sports Report. Remember, the hashtag is WSRPicks. Bean had not played in the last three matches for Nebraska, but she can take over matches, according to her head coach, John Cook. Nebraska saw that in China earlier this season when Nebraska played Bakersfield back in Kelsey Fien's hometown. She had 17 kills in that match, and right now at the end of the third set, Fien has been huge. Well,
hopefully they're watching her tonight on BTN from that far away, and she is getting the job done for Nebraska. She's added that extra spark, but you just look at her, she looks like a volleyball athlete. She really has a nice presence about her, and she just goes for it. Not a lot of shots given by her. She's really swinging away, trying to do as much as she can for her team. And coming off the bench, Mike, not easy to do.
Kelsey Fien, 7 kills, all 7 of those kills in this set. Nebraska at 5-3 in the Big Ten Conference, trying to move up the standings. They'd have to hope for Penn State and Illinois to suffer a loss this weekend, but they need this win on the road against Minnesota. Focused on point-to-point, trying to force the fourth set.
And this is where it's going to happen. This is a crucial point right now. You need to step up in these times. This is what Nebraska has been lacking in the crunch time.
Shaw set to Page, tap the tip, and it will be the point. No pancake for the Huskers.
Just landed right in front of them, maybe one more step defensively, and they were able to get it.
Both of these teams have talked about having the young players be mentally tough. Their coaches want to see that. Which one of these two squads will have the mentally tough players down the stretch here in the third? Paul Miller, the set in the middle of the hall for the kill.
Great pass. But Mary Paul Miller really reached high on that set. Good timing by Cecilia Hall to put that ball away. And there was 2.
Albrecht back in serving. Wilhite. Long Arantes with the dig. Another chance and another up for Long Arantes off the attack from Wilhite. It's the only reason this ball is still in play. And a tap. Executes for Minnesota.
She sure does. Taking advantage of one blocker up there and swings away. And this is what teams practice. Really chasing the ball, going after it, finding a way to make it happen. But ultimately, in the end, Hannah Tapp, one-on-one opportunity. You do not want to be on the other side of that.
Paul Miller, the set to Katie Rolfson. Great dig by Rosado. Wilhite, though, is stuffed, and it's set point for Nebraska.
Wow, those hands are really far over the net. But good dig by Rosado right here to make something happen for Minnesota. This is crunch time, folks, and she gets the job done with a stuff block.
Amber Rolfson may not be getting it done in kills, but she has 5 blocks. Wilhite the swing. Second chance, but Nebraska keeps the match alive. They take the third set 25-21, and we'll head to the fourth. Huskers make the adjustments, and they win the third set. Thanks to the play of their defense and Kelsey Fien off the bench. We're heading to 4 when we come back to Minneapolis. Matchups of the 2 sets of twins in this match, and doing pretty well for both teams, especially for the Tapp sisters, though. The production from the Rolfsons, typically you see that. However, the Tapp sisters have been up and down, and this one of their better matches together.
Well, Amber's blocking tonight, okay? So what she doesn't do on the kill in the hitting percentage, she's adding with her blocks, and Katie's getting it done with the kills. On the Tapp side, Hannah, it's nice to see her get that many opportunities and find ways to score, where I know she struggled, I think, against Wisconsin this past weekend, finding those kills.
Hannah Tapp had just 3 kills and hit a negative number against Wisconsin last week. Her sister Paige, this is her first year really with extensive starting time, as she was on the bench a season ago. Hannah Tapp was a Big Ten All-Freshman selection. But here we are ready for set 4. Katie Shaw with the set to Dolly Santana. Fiend. Another chance for Santana off the hands.
If you notice, Santana's got a couple different tempos. If the ball is off and out of system from Shaw, she tries to deliver it super fast. And if it's a 2-point pass or a 3-point pass, she gives her a little kick at the end.
Amber Rolfson, but the block for the Gophers.
They were right there, ready and waiting. Tough blocking team from Minnesota. Very difficult for Amber to get around the block. She's trying to turn it and hit it line, but Nora was right in her face.
7 blocks now for the Gophers. Tough serve from Dolly Santana. Fiend, the roll shot. Take a look at some of the comments on Twitter this evening. Hashtag B1G Volleyball. Join in on the conversation about Nebraska and Minnesota. Follow us at twitter.com/BTN Volleyball. Nora saw the solo blocker and she went off, Katie Rolfson.
It's not the prettiest move up there, but she gets the job done. She really goes hard for that tool. She's not going for the straightaway kill. She's trying to find those hands and do something with it.
Dumped over by Paul Miller, and a great decision by the Nebraska setter.
And she's typically a very offensive setter. She does a nice job up there. She's been pretty quiet tonight, though. She knows the exact time she needs to dump the ball, and she's quite effective.
The only senior in the lineup for Nebraska, Mary Paul Miller, the setter. Second season with the Huskers after transferring from Tennessee. She was an All-America honorable mention selection a year ago. Shaw sets it to Wilhite, but the block, it goes down for Nebraska.
Well, Katie Rolfson, if you noticed the play before, she had a nice beach move. It's kind of a poke. They call it a pokey, where it's a tight ball, and she reaches really high over the block just to place it. It's a shot.
And it's Tapp, but it's out of play on the air. Tapp has not had many errors in this match, but a mistake there. Shaw goes right back to Hannah Tapp, and a good bounce back after the attack.
I would too. It was a great swing before and just missed a little bit wide, maybe a couple of inches, but going back to her gives her the confidence that she needs. She's done so well tonight in the kill category. You should keep finding her.
Hannah Tapp leading all players with 10 kills now in this match, 2 from a career high. Good serve by Gaynor. Huskers receive it well. Santana, but it's long.
That's also another design play by Santana. I haven't seen her do it too often tonight. A back row attack out of the left side of the court. And if you notice, 2 hitters are going out to the pin. It's designed so the block gets kind of messed up, not knowing who to jump with.
Shaw sets over to Wilhite. And the Huskers can't keep it off the floor. Not a hard shot from Wilhite, but still a kill.
It was a very smart play by Wilhite. What she did is notice that the set was too tight. So what happens is that you need to go in, find those hands, gently tap it into the block, cover yourself, play it up high, and again, she got another opportunity.
Wilhite now with 10 kills, 11 digs, so a double-double for Sarah Wilhite. She had a triple-double in that match against Ohio State to open the Big Ten season, but a service there.
Needs a little bit more oomph on that serve.
Katie Rolfson on the line for the Huskers. Hannah Tapp tries to go off speed, but it didn't make it over the net.
If the ball's behind your head off a 1-foot takeoff, very difficult to adjust. As a setter, you need to lead your hitters, lead them towards the net so they can go forward with the ball and see the defense.
Another short serve from Katie Rolfson. Dolly Santana, she went off the antenna, and that is now the 5th air of just this 4th set for Minnesota. And they are not playing at the level they were earlier in this match. They're down in the 4th. Nebraska up 8-5. Badgers looking to move to 8-1 in the Big Ten Conference, and they're just 5 points away. Gophers come out of a timeout with the point.
That was a nice play by the Gophers. Like you said, Mike, to get the job done in a different category. They were setting the pin, the left side pin. They needed to switch it up and go more for the right side.
Fien again. Kelsey Fien has risen to the occasion in this match.
She has. She passed up the block, saw the seam opportunity, went flying in there. Minnesota's a little too slow to close the block. And she found the hole. Good job by Kelsey.
Etheridge again serving. She's had some issues with service errors in this match, but that one stays in, results in a free ball for the Huskers. Back to Fien, off the block.
Well, Minnesota needs to find an answer for her, and right now, against Shaw, that's not it. Shaw's really struggling up there, finding her way, where to plant her feet against Fien.
Service error from the Huskers. Kelsey Fien, 10 kills in a little over a set. She only came in the 3rd set, and now she's leading the Huskers with 10 kills, and great performance and a necessary performance for Nebraska as they were in jeopardy of losing in straight sets if it wasn't for the play of Fien. Huskers go back to Fien. Good up by Rosado. Whistle that goes against the Gophers on the violation, so the point to Nebraska.
Well, it was a tight set, and I think as a hitter, you really need to put on the brakes, dig in with your feet, and get your body out of the net. And sometimes you hope that the lines judges, the referees, do not see that.
Tough serve from Paul Miller. It's an ace.
And that ball is dropping fast. You anticipate as a serve receiver that the ball is coming at a certain speed, but oftentimes it drops fast, so you've got to get a jump on it.
Coming up the journey, Big Ten football 2014, right after us. Paige Tapp on the slide.
Very smooth. She's got a nice, clean approach on that slide. Very natural, very athletic.
8 kills now for Paige Tapp. Santana, the jump float serve from the line. Will Height. Tip ends up on Minnesota's side, but the rally's still alive. But a stuffed block for CC Hall.
It's a good recover by Nora, but the set died inside. No place for Will Height to go, except she slammed it right into Hall, and she's just waiting. Hall couldn't even close the block. She was right there. She just went up, and the ball came right to her.
Tip from Paige Tapp, and it falls in front of Wanarantis.
Smart play. Pin hitters will often mix it up between swinging hard and creating a shot. If they can keep mixing it up like that, the defense has no idea what they're going to do.
The Tapp sisters out of Stewartville, Minnesota, both sophomores, and Paige Tapp making huge strides here in the past couple of weeks. Big swing from Katie Rolfson, and the Gophers can't dig it up.
Huge swing by Katie. Good job for Nebraska getting the ball rolling here.
14-9 lead for the Huskers. Trying to send this match to 5 sets after dropping the first 2. Not a good first contact by the Gophers, and it results in the air by Wilhite.
Well, it's a serve that set that one off. If you notice, Wilhite is trying to get her body out of the serve receive, hiding more on the left side of the court. So it was a great serve by Justine.
8 airs for Minnesota here in the fourth, but we'll send it back out to Madison, where Wisconsin is trying to close out Iowa in straight sets.
Iowa at the net, contested. The Badgers touch it. The point will go to Wisconsin, and so will the match. Badgers sweep this thing 3-0 over the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, the Hawkeyes should not be disappointed, though. They played very well. They just need to work on committing less errors. Now, if I'm the Wisconsin Badgers, when I'm facing Nebraska, I'd be a little concerned. They didn't look the best today. The Hawkeyes gave them a run for their money. They should be a little concerned going up against Nebraska.
Who's the player stood out to you today for Wisconsin, Cole?
It's got to be number 4.
Wisconsin winning in straight sets against Iowa, now 8-1 in the Big Ten Conference, and you heard the announcer saying it will be Nebraska and Wisconsin on Sunday, as the Huskers will go up against their 5th top 5 opponent this season. They are 1-3 in those matches. They beat Penn State when Penn State was in the top 5, but struggled early in the season. But you see the Big Ten standings. Wisconsin now 8-1. Nebraska trying to improve to 6-3, but Minnesota, after dropping 5 of the first 8 Big Ten matches, looks so strong in the first 2 sets, but now 8 attack errors hitting a negative number here in the fourth.
Well, this is a game of volleyball. You have to go the distance, and out of the break, out of that intermission, that's a long time, not only to strategize, but to regroup, and that's what Nebraska has done. They've understood what they need to get done. Maybe they weren't following the scouting report or the game plan in the first 2 sets. Minnesota definitely was. So the tides have changed now, and this, along with it, the momentum.
Husker defense has been a big part of it. You see the blocks, 10 blocks for Nebraska in this match.
Very tough team to play, but on the flip side, Shaw needs to give the ball higher out to the pin to get the job done.
We talked to John Cook earlier today as you see another block for Nebraska. We mentioned the 10 blocks for the Huskers. He said he has a different system for grading out the efficiency of the Nebraska block. He doesn't do it just on the number of total blocks against their opponent, and they try to grade out the number of times the block is used by the opponent. Service error there by Nebraska out of the timeout. It's not just the number of total blocks, but the opportunities for blocks that Nebraska and John Cook and his staff look at.
Well, they look at those stats, their own individual personalized stats for the blocking. The rest of the country doesn't do it, and it really helps their players adjust. It tells them a lot of things that they can get better at. It tells them the certain areas where they're doing well. But you're right, Mike, when the normal person looks at the blocking stats, you may see 8 blocks, but ultimately maybe that wasn't a good night for that person. Maybe they got tooled a bunch of times. So ultimately, Nebraska has their own system that they follow to help progress and develop those blockers.
Well, as you said, John Cook calls that being used by the opponent if you get tooled or it goes off your hands. So it's one of the reasons why the blocking number is a bit different. Hannah Tapp looking for a touch, but another mistake by Minnesota in this 4th set. They're down by 7, and it looks like we could be going to another 5-setter between these 2 teams.
Well, you have to earn your points, and right now Minnesota is not earning the points.
Good up by Townsend, but a joust at the net. Play continues. Shaw back set to Hannah Tapp. Her 12th kill, and she's trying to get Minnesota going in the 4th.
You've got to swing to score here, and Hannah Tapp has been doing it all along, so don't look for any excuses from her. She's going to go out banging.
17-11 lead for Nebraska in the 4th. Wilhite serving. Paul Miller looks for her own attack. And a tap off the net. Katie Rolfson terminates.
That was really smart by Paul Miller to give the ball out to the pin. If you notice, Shaw had a transition and take the middle position spot, so the seam was way open. I love it when setters can identify mismatched blocking schemes on the other side of the net.
Katie Rolfson back on the service line. We saw a run earlier when she was serving short. Hannah Tapp gets to that ball. What a play by her on a tough set.
Very athletic, and that's what these teams could do in the Big Ten. They're so athletic and gifted. You take it for granted. You want that perfect set, but ultimately, that's what you have to do as a strong middle attacker. Just take whatever you get and better the ball.
Personal best for Hannah Tapp, 13 kills in this match. Gophers will need more, though. Fiend splits the block.
Wow, can we just talk about that assist, though? The pass going all the way from right back corner, and a perfect spot for her to get the kill. That was fantastic by Paul Miller, delivering that ball right in the area that she needed it.
Dolly Santana, but it's out of play wide.
It's a flat ball. Need to create a little bit more topspin. She finds the speed and she tries to clip that edge, but she needs a little bit of topspin, so you need to snap your wrist.
Gophers decide to make a change at the setter position. Erica Hanley subs in for Katie Shaw, so it will be Hanley setting. She has not played in the last 4 matches for the Gophers. Not a good first pass. Hanley sets it to Paige Tapp. Ball out of play. Good decision to let it go by the Gophers.
Good communication by Minnesota. And right now with the setter change, they need to make something happen.
But they make the change as they bring back in Katie Shaw. One of the reasons why Hugh McCutcheon says the back row defense by Erica Hanley has not been there. A better all-around player in Katie Shaw, so that's why she's come back in as the setter rotates to the back row.
And a strong server. She's a good server back here on this line. She creates point opportunities for her team.
CeCe Hall, but it's out of play. Down to a 6-point margin in the 4th. Minnesota needs a run from the service line from Katie Shaw. Back to the corner, Mary Paul Miller saw the opening.
She likes to do that. She can really rip that ball deep in the right back corner, right there as you saw, but she can also do it in the left back corner. And that's something as a young setter, for all you watching out there, you've got to start practicing that now.
Into the block, another stuff for Nebraska.
It's a hard position to be in for Dolly. Really tight inside set.
Mike Wolf alongside Liz Torello-Nelson from the Sports Pavilion in Minneapolis. We're in set 4. Nebraska trying to send it to a decisive 5th set. And they have the 22-14 lead. Wong-Arantes, the bump set to Amber Rolfson. Good up from Katie Shaw. Fiend, she has been tough to stop since coming in the 3rd. Santana, crucial rally continues, and Amber Rolfson saw the opening on the opposite side of the court, gets the point.
She did see the opening. Great rally on both sides of the net. But nice beach move over there across the body. You keep bringing that up, but it was a nice shot. She saw the open court on the right front, and she just placed it there.
Just long of the line, Nebraska wanted the ace. The Huskers are still 2 points away from sending this to the 5th set. Fiend. Rosado with the diving up. Shaw, the back set to Nora. Solo block for Paige Tapp.
Awesome job by Paige Tapp. There's a back row attack coming straight in after her. All she had to do was slide over and put her hands over the net.
Shaw sets long over to Wilhite. Roll shot for Wilhite is down.
Minnesota towards the end here is working hard on their transition game, which is nice to see, something they were missing in the beginning of the set.
And Nebraska calls a timeout for John Cook. 23-17 lead here in the fourth. Huskers turning it around after starting poorly in sets 1 and 2. And just about a week ago, Nebraska's head coach John Cook and his staff sent a video to the players of their match against Penn State. It was also combined with video of the movie Cinderella Man, where Russell Crowe plays James Braddock, and show the scene where he gets punched hard in the first set. Feels like he was brutalized, but he's unfazed and able to come back and win that fight. And he sent that to his team. Thought it was a good example of what they did against Penn State. They were hurt, dominated in the first set, but then came back to win. This is a very similar scenario. If they can come back and win this in 5 sets, struggling at the beginning, but figuring out a way to get the energy they need.
Well, perhaps they showed it in intermission in the locker room. Maybe he moments. And if you've done it once, you can do it again. And that's probably what he's telling his team. He's telling his team right now he needs to finish. They need to finish. And they've been in this situation before. They need to close the door on Minnesota and move on to the next set. So again, you want to finish strong. You don't want to give Minnesota any edge here to gain any kind of momentum going into the 5th set.
23-17 lead for the Huskers, and 2 points away from closing out the 4th and sending it to 5. Minnesota putting together a little bit of a run here towards the end of the 4th set, but a long way to go to keep this one from going to set 5, and Santana on the line. Oh, but a solo block for Wilhite.
She was there, holding steady, very disciplined, just waiting for the hitter to come to her. She didn't even have to make a move. She just jumped up and put her hands over the net.
But a service there from Santana, set point to Nebraska. Annika Albrecht in to serve for the Huskers, trying to close out the 4th. Wilhite, though, with velocity.
Very pretty play there. Great dig. It was dig, but it was a serve-receive play by Dolly. Very nice set all the way out to the pin.
Katie Rolfson. That'll do it for set 4. And for the 4th consecutive year between these two teams in Minneapolis, we are heading to set number 5. The decisive set when we return to the Sports Pavilion. Can Nebraska continue their momentum, or will the Gophers win it at home? Find out when we return on BTN. 7 of the last 11 meetings have been decided in 5 sets, and as we said, the last 3 before tonight were also in 5 sets here in Minneapolis. So another good one playing in the race to 15 between the Gophers and the Huskers.
You blink and it's over, so you better show up, and you better show up right now, starting off on the serving line, figuring out the matchups. I think Minnesota's back to rotation 2 right now, where they started off the first set. On the opposite, Nebraska's going to start in rotation 1 with Paul Miller serving.
Take a listen in to John Cook in the last time out for the Huskers.
Okay, if I'm them, I'm setting dogs every chance I get. Okay, we got to work hard on coverage, trust your serves, get Mary the ball. Okay, it's a great opportunity for you guys now. You've got yourself back here, trust your training. You're getting long rallies, get a 4-on-4 and tool high line.
Great opportunity for Nebraska. After struggling in those first 2 sets, they win set 3 and 4. We saw the numbers. Nebraska 0-2 in 5-set matches. They lost a 14-11 lead to Ohio State at home earlier this year. Minnesota 2-0 in 5-setters. First swing of the 5th, a kill for Wilhite.
Fast tempo ball all the way out to the pin. Wilhite is really doing a great job. She's waking up the fans here. She needs that support.
13 kills for Wilhite. Kelsey Feed is stuffed. Finally, Minnesota had an answer for Feed.
Good timing on Minnesota's part. You want to come out of the gate super fast, and boy, great job really closing the block and getting all four hands around the ball.
10th block of the match for Minnesota. Katie Rolfson, no, it's Amber Rolfson on the left side off the block.
In rotation one, yes, Amber hits on the left side, and then she'll switch over to the right side after the transition ball.
Tough serve from Albrecht. Gophers still get it up to Nora. Wilhite off the block, and Sarah Wilhite coming through so far in the fifth.
She's getting the sets that she needs all the way out to the pin, so she has to decide where she wants to put the ball. If the set dies inside or if it goes way outside, you have to take what the setter gives you. But it's so nice to see Sarah up there banging the ball.
Albrecht, the roll shot, and off the hands of Hannah Tapp.
They just trickled down. It almost seemed like a long time to get your hands on that ball, but ultimately, if you're back on your heels, it's really hard to push off.
Nebraska looking for their second win against a ranked team this season. Gophers seeking their first. Hannah Tapp, big swing, but a great dig by Albrecht. And then in transition, the Huskers terminate.
They sure did, and it starts from the dig. That's where they fuel their fire. Get the ball up. They really find some energy that way, but Katie does a good job turning her body line at the last second.
Katie Shaw, her first attack of the night, and it's a kill.
You have to respect the setters on the other side of the net. No matter what's happened in the match, oftentimes you'll see the back row talking about it. Is she front row? Is she back row? You have to pay attention to them.
Ball-Miller sets to Katie Rolfson, and off the shoulder of Gaynor. Gophers had a chance at it, but that's a tough one to read.
It is a tough one. That went flying over to the Minnesota's bench. Really hard to track down for Rosado. She's done such a nice job. Lots of digs tonight, but when you chase that ball into the bleachers, it's a tough one to get back to your team.
Dalian Liz Rosado, career-high 21 digs in this match. Sydney Townsend serving for the Huskers. Shaw sets Hannah Tapp.
That ball just squeaked by, Mike. It just found a way in the seam. And she does such a great job of really tracking it, going off of 1 foot. And that set actually died in front of her, and she still put a lot of heat on it.
Rosado serving for the Gophers. Ball-Miller sets it to Katie Rolfson.
It's a bang fest out here. And what's happening in this set is that they're passing a lot better. Both sides have really stepped it up in the serve-receive department so the setters can deliver a better ball.
Rolfson goes to the service line. Tied at 5 in the fifth set, and an ace for Katie Rolfson.
Well, they found that short serve, and that really did work. It really forced Rosado to come up high. You've got to anticipate where this ball is going before it crosses the plane of the net.
Lead for Nebraska. Page Tapp on the tip. Kelsey Feen off the block and down.
She found it. Fast transition play by Nebraska. On the net, off the net. Page Tapp did not have enough time to bring her hands up and over.
Teams will trade sides at 8 points. Dolly Santana key kill from Santana. Minnesota needed that one.
Nice assist, nice and high, all the way out to the pin. Gave her some time on that auto system play. She really winds up and finds the seam. Thumb up to thumb down, crossbody shot.
Feed is stuffed. Page tap.
Well, they found a way on Fiend right now. It was an inside set. She comes in hard and drives hard, but Paige was able to really drop her left hand and get it over the net.
8 blocks for Paige Tapp. Megan Haggerty splits the block for the kill for the Huskers.
And Katie Shaw took her eyes off that ball. Now you'll see those switch sides and see what happens.
Minnesota 3-5 in the Big Ten Conference, desperately in need of a win as they want to keep their tradition of finishing in the top half of the Big Ten Conference alive. But this match, the race to 15, 2 young teams, and who will step up to finish it off? Alexa Etheridge to serve. Not a good first pass. Almost an overpass kill. Either way, it's the point for Nebraska.
Great fast point opportunity, and this is what she can do day in and day out for the Nebraska squad. She stays back there and she gets a job done. Fast point by Cecilia Hall.
Timeout for Minnesota, 9-7 lead for Nebraska. Coming up next, it's the season premiere of The Journey, Big Ten Football 2014. On the show, the Journey team goes behind the scenes with Nebraska running back Amir Abdullah and his family. That's all next on The Journey, Big Ten Football 2014. Nebraska and Minnesota in a battle here in the 5th, and the numbers in the 5th set. Really tremendous play on both sides. Both teams are hitting over 600, and obviously not as many attacks in the 5th set so far, but still, you see the team that usually makes the less errors in set 5, they come away with a win.
Better setting, distribution, better passing. It's very clean when that happens. If you're hitting at a high percentage, everything looks better.
Nebraska coming off a match against Illinois where they felt like they lost some close games that they should have won. Turn it around here. This is going to be a close conclusion to the 5th set. And Minnesota, Hugh McCutcheon has said his team thinks that they're getting better every week. The results have not been there as of late, but they have shown the progress in this match tonight. Etheridge still serving for Nebraska. She got the Gophers out of system on her last serve. This time Shaw, the set to Santana, but a stuff for Mary Paul Miller.
It was all the momentum was going towards the left side, but Shaw unfortunately delivered an inside set. Very easy for Nebraska to block that ball.
Tough serve from Etheridge. It's an ace. It's 11-7 lead in the 5th.
Entering the match for the Golden Gophers, number 12, Morgan Bull.
Minnesota makes a change and brings in Morgan Bull for serve receive as Etheridge still back at the line for the Huskers. Paige Tapp. Roll shot from Fiend.
Wow, she's making the moves. Little miscommunication on Minnesota's part in the last couple plays. Who's going to get those short balls? We'll see what happens coming out of the timeout. But Kelsey, all she had to do was drop her elbow and find that spot on the court to make it happen.
Nebraska 3 points away from taking this match in set 5. Huskers with a tough road schedule. They're in the midst of playing 6 of 8 matches on the road. And they will play Wisconsin on Sunday. Team that is tied atop the Big Ten standings, then go to Rutgers and Maryland before playing Purdue and Indiana at home. So Nebraska challenging matches ahead for the Huskers, but they just want to finish off this one and get the next 3 points.
The Big Ten schedule is tough enough without playing on the road and midweek matches.
AC Minnesota will have Iowa here at the Sports Pavilion on Saturday. And then on the road, the Gophers will go as they go to Indiana and Purdue, and then the state of Michigan. Minnesota, don't count them out at this point, and Nebraska probably does not want to be reminded of it, but that 14-11 lead that the Huskers had against Ohio State at the Devaney Center, they saw that disappear and lose to Ohio State 16-14 in the 5th. And I'm sure John Cook is telling his team, this is not over even with a 5-point lead.
No, this is where you step it up a notch. And all the practice, he said, trust your training. This is what they train for. Who's going to do it? Who's going to get the job done no matter what? Will it be the Rolfson twins? Will it be Kelsey? Oftentimes you find your setter being the one to lead the way. She touches the ball in every play.
Etheridge still serving for Nebraska. Shaw. The set to Paige Tapp. Now Paul Miller. The set to Katie Rolfson. Point to Nebraska.
Great shot by Katie. Again, signature beach move. She's reaching up and going away from her body, outside her body line. Very tough to read for Rosado.
17 kills, 14 digs for Katie Rolfson, her 5th double-double of the season. Dolly Santana. Fiend. There'll be a whistle, though, that goes against Minnesota, and it is match point for Nebraska. Paige Tapp, Huskers looking for the block to end it. Paul Miller, the joust, it's out of play. What a comeback by Nebraska. They fall down 0-2, win the next 3 sets, and beat Minnesota on the road.
Great match by Nebraska. You said it, Mike. Coming down off of 2, whatever was said in that intermission really helped them. Power to them. They did a nice job against a tough Minnesota team tonight.